Alright guys, in this video I'm going to give you the ultimate beginner's guide to WordPress SEO and exactly what you need to do to optimize your website when using the WordPress platform. So this guide is going to show you everything you need to know to do. I'm going to give you a checklist and I'm then also going to run through every point on the checklist and I'm going to show you exactly how to implement all these things on your website to get it to rank on Google. Now just note that there are other parts to your website that you're also going to need to optimize, such as a fast hosting, SSL certificates, or so on, but these apply no matter what platform you're using. In this guide, I'm just going to purely focus on what's within WordPress and what you can optimize within WordPress specifically, so just bear that in mind. Let's get right into it. So here is the checklist of what you need to optimize on your website. So I'm going to put a link to this document under this video so that you can click that, get into this document and then save this checklist for yourself so that you can go through it. But these are all the things that are going to need to be optimized. Now I'm going to run through every single one of these one by one and I'm going to show you how to do every single one of these things so we can just get straight into that. So here's how to do each one. First of all, what you need to do is set up two things that I highly recommend. Technically, you could do it without these, but I would highly recommend doing these because it's going to give you data that you pretty much absolutely need to do SEO. So the first one is setting up Google Search Console. Google Search Console is a free tool that Google gives you that will give you all kinds of insights regarding how your website is performing on organic search. If you are trying to get your website to rank, I highly recommend you set up and use it. And now I actually made a video showing exactly how to set up and use Google Search Console. There's a link here. I'm also going to put it up in the card and a link below this video too, so you can go watch that video on how to set this up. Here's the URL you're going to need. If you're going to go to Google Search Console, you need to go to this URL to set it up. Again, that's going to be in a link below this video as well. Now, the second thing is setting up Google Analytics. Now, that's another free tool from Google, which is going to track exactly what's happening on your website to see where users are coming from, what pages they're looking at, and all kinds of other things. You can also set it up to track specific actions people take on your website so that you know if people who are coming from wherever, landing on your website, are actually doing what you want them to do, like clicking a phone number or submitting a form. So it's a crucial tool I highly recommend using if you're trying to get your website to perform well and rank. Now, I've also made extensive videos on how to set up Google Analytics 4 and how to set up conversion tracking in Google Analytics 4 so you can track everything. So again, links to these videos are in this document. They're also going to be below this video and I'm going to put a card up here to one and then the other one so you can watch those. Now, in order to set up a Google Analytics account, you need to go to analytics.google.com. That's the URL here. Again, this link will also be below this video. Hey guys, real quick, if you want to add at least $100,000 to $300,000 per year in new business, guaranteed, or you literally don't pay, go to dominatemarketing.io to book a call with us and we'll show you exactly how we'll do that for you. Back to the video. So now, once you've got those two set up, now we're getting into what you can actually do in WordPress itself. So the first thing I recommend you do is that you go in and you adjust the permalink settings. So the permalinks setting is basically how your URL is going to display on the website. So when you set WordPress, when you just install it, it's probably set to plain most of the time. However, URLs are absolutely crucial for SEO and getting Google to know what the website's about because it looks at the text in the URL. I'm going to go into this a little bit later, but basically you need to adjust it so that it sets it so that you have the words you want in the URL and it's not just some random numbers or like a bunch of dates and stuff. So here's exactly how you do that. So once you're in the WordPress dashboard, this is a brand new website that I'm installing for the purpose of this video. What you want to do is on the left hand side here, you want to click settings and then there's a permalinks setting here. You want to click on that. And now when it opens this, it's going to give you the permalink structure that you want to use. So you can see here it's set day and name, which means that you're going to get the date of the posts in here. Now, what I always use is just post name, which is literally just the page or the post name after the URL. So it'll be like, in this case, dominatemarketing.co.nz/ let's say search engine optimization would be the page URL. You're not going to get any weird dates or anything like that. This is the one I recommend you use in 99% of cases, so just click this one. If for some reason you're a bit more advanced and you want to play around with the URL and you want to add like different things, you can make a custom structure here, which would be the second option I would go with. Basically, all these other ones, I wouldn't even touch any of these. Either do post name, or if you know what you're doing, you can use a custom structure. That's what I would recommend. So that's all you need to do with permalink. Just make it set to that setting, and then from there, it'll be good to go across the whole website. So now the second thing is the www versus the non-www version of your website. So you need to pick one of these. It doesn't actually matter which one of these two you select. It's not going to make any difference for SEO at all. You just need to select one. The problem is you need to make sure that the one you want to keep, that the other one is redirecting to that one. So if you want to keep the one with www in the URL, you need to redirect the non-www version. If you don't, Google's going to consider them as two separate websites, and this can actually hurt your SEO. So you just need to test and make sure that you've actually set up the redirect correctly and you picked one. So I'll show you how to do that. Firstly, if you go into settings in the WordPress dashboard, you go general, you can actually change the setting that you want. So see here how it's got www in it. If I remove this, and you can see in the URL up here, it's got the www. If I remove that and then hit save, what's going to happen is now it's going to update the URL to be the non-www version. You see how that just updated? And so now if I type in www dot, it's going to redirect us to the non-www version. You see how it did that? But you just want to make sure that the redirect is actually working and it's not showing up a www version if you've set it to the other one. So that's all you need to do, and then WordPress is going to take care of that for you. Okay. So the next thing you need to do is you actually need to set the setting to allow search engines to read the WordPress website. So a lot of the times when you just install a new WordPress website, there's a setting in the settings that actually discourages search engines like Google from indexing the site and showing it. And this is because WordPress is assuming that you're building a new website and it's not ready yet. So it's trying to prevent it from Google from reading your website and showing it. But once your website's ready to go and you want Google to see it, you need to make sure that you've actually unticked this box. Otherwise, no matter what you do, the website's not going to rank. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So once you're in the WordPress dashboard, you need to go to settings again, but this time you want to click on reading. And now on reading, you want to scroll down and you can see here, see how it says search engine visibility? And then this is ticked. Discourage search engines from indexing the site. You need to make sure if you want Google to see it to untick the box. So untick the box, I'm just emphasizing that, and then hit save changes. And when this box is not ticked like this, now Google can read it. Once it's ticked, which I'm going to do for this website, Google can't read it. So don't confuse those two. Make sure you keep in mind that when it's ticked, it means Google cannot read the website. I'm just emphasizing that so you don't get those two mixed up, because this is obviously going to greatly affect your SEO. Now, we're getting into the actual optimization of the website and things you can do. So this one and the next two are going to be what I call the 3 pillars of SEO. They're essentially the 3 most important things of your website. And I'm actually going to make more in-depth videos on every one of these to show you exactly what to do with each of these. But for this purpose of this video, I'm just going to give you an overview of how you can go about actually doing it in WordPress. And then I'm going to explain in the other videos exactly how to do it and like what you need to know when doing them. So the first one is meta titles. This is the first of the 3 pillars. These must be optimized if you want to stand a chance for ranking in Google. The meta title is the title that shows up in the browser tab at the top of your Internet Explorer, Firefox, whatever. And it's also the title that actually shows up in the Google search results page. So you want to make sure that you have a good title that is both relevant to the page and will make people want to click it. So the title you need to make sure that the meta title doesn't exceed 60 characters so that it doesn't get cut off on Google. Sometimes it can be a bit longer if you've got like a lot of like eyes and stuff that are shorter, but it's actually a pixel limit. And if you go beyond that, it'll cut it off. 60 characters is usually the safe spot. And they also need to contain the main keyword that you want that particular page to rank for. So in order to do this, you are going to need a plugin like All-in-One SEO, which is going to allow you to edit the meta titles on every page. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing you want to do is go to plugins and install the plugin All-in-One SEO. So that's the one I recommend you use. There's a couple others like Yoast and things like that you can use. I like this one. If you go to add new, I'm going to show you how to do it. So you go to add new and type All-in-One SEO. And then you would just hit activate. You would just hit install now, like this one has here, and then you would hit activate. So if you want to do like, let's say Yoast SEO, that's another one that you can use. You would do the same thing. You would hit install and then activate. And so once it's installed, then you can actually go to your pages and set the meta title for every single page. So let's say we've got the home page and let's say Google Ads page. So I'm just going to open both of them to show you. So this is what it's going to look like. You open the page here where you can edit the page. If you scroll down, you can see here you've got, it gives you a preview, and now you've got the page title. So if I go in here and I remove this, I can now set with this whatever I want. So like, let's say dominate marketing, dominate Google with ads and SEO. Let's just say that's the meta title I want. You can see now that I've inputted this here as the meta title, and also you can see here that it says 51 out of 60 max recommended characters. That's what I was mentioning earlier. So this plugin will allow you to do that, and then if you hit update, now what's going to happen is this page title is going to show up in the tab, and it's also going to show up in Google. So if I open the page now, you can see here up in the tab, you see how it's showing now the very title I just typed in. That's how that works. So the same thing here, if I go to the Google Ads page, you see here how right now it just says Google Ads, just another WordPress website, because I haven't set up anything on this website. So I'm going to remove all this, and let's go Google Ads, get in front of your customers, and then let's say I just want to do dominate, right? Because if I put marketing, it's going to be too long. Now I'm just going to hit update, and I'm just going to show you it's going to do the same thing on this page. So I open the page, you can see here now, it's the exact meta title I just typed in. So that's how that works. That's how you would do it. That's what these plugins allow you to do. Okay, so the next one is H1 headline. So this is the second of the 3 pillars, and this is the main headline that's going to be on your page, and it tells not only your readers, but also Google what this page is about. So you need to have a headline that not only grabs the reader's attention to get them to want to keep reading the page, but it also needs to be relevant to the page and contain the keywords that you want that page to rank for as well. So in WordPress, typically whatever title you type into the top as the page or post title is going to display as the H1 headline in most themes. So I'll show you what that looks like. Let's say we go back to this page. You can see here now on home, you can see it says home. And if I go into the code of the website, you see here how it says H1. That means it's the H1 headline. So now if I was to type in here, dominate marketing, and I'm just going to hit update, you can see this is where you would put the post or page title in this section here within WordPress. Now, if I refresh this page, you can see I've just updated it, and you can see here it says H1. So that's how typically you would set this. It's going to be slightly different if you're using a page builder like Elementor, where you have to like manually select the H1, but this is how it does it within the standard WordPress editor. Now, it's the same thing for posts. I'm just going to close the rest of these pages. Let's say there's a post here. I'm just going to add a new post just for the purpose of this thing. Let's say dominate Google with ads and SEO. And then let's just say blah, blah, blah. Right? You can see here the URL as well. I'm going to go into that in a second. So I'm just going to save this as a draft. And I'm going to show you the same thing. So now if I open this post, and I'm going to go inspect, that's going to be the H1 as well. You can see here how it's H1. So that's how you set the H1s on your pages and your posts on the standard WordPress editor. Now, URLs. This is the third pillar of the 3 pillars of SEO that I'm talking about, and this is crucial for telling Google what your page is about. Now, I kind of covered them in the Permalinks section, but I'm going to go over this now to show you what to actually do. So now there's a couple of rules with URLs. You want to try and keep them as short and as relevant as possible, and make sure they contain the keyword that you want to rank for without trying to stuff too many keywords into it. So that's something you need to be aware of. Just try and keep it short and keep it right to the point. And I'm going to show you now how you edit this in the URL in WordPress. So let's say I want to edit a URL on a page. I'm going to open my SEO page. And let's say that I want to change this URL to search engine optimization. I'm just going to change it here. So you see how it shows the permalink here? You hit edit, and then you go search engine optimization. So you type in whatever you want. You need to put these dashes in because URLs don't include spaces, but if you just put spaces, WordPress is just going to automatically put the dashes. So you can see here like this. The dashes are back. So that's just how you have to do it. You can't have spaces in the URL, but basically this is how you would want to do it. Keep it 3 to 4 words. You edit it there, you just hit update. And now this page is now going to show up instead of having the old URL of SEO, it's now got the new one. And it's the same thing in posts. So let's say I want to change this. You can see how the old URL, I'm just going to publish it to show you, because when it's draft, it doesn't show the URL properly. So you can see how it says dominate Google with ads and SEO. Let's say I want to remove that and just put dominate Google. Update, and it's now going to show up the new URL. So it probably, there you go. So it redirected and it's now showing the new URL. So that's how that works. Now that you have edited the URL, this leads me to the next one, which is redirect. So with the redirect, if you change the URL of the page, you need to make sure that you redirect the old URL to the new URL so that you don't end up with a broken link, which is known as a 404. Broken links are actually detrimental to your SEO, so you need to make sure that you forward any URLs that you have changed, especially if that page was ranking in Google, because what's going to happen is if it's ranking in Google, you change the URL, it's still ranking in Google, someone clicks on it, it goes to a broken page. So not only are you going to miss out on traffic that you could be getting, but Google is eventually going to see that people are bouncing off and your site's going to drop in the rankings. So that's why you need to make sure that you always redirect the URLs that you've changed. So there's a plugin called redirection, which is what I recommend you do, which will not only make it easy to redirect any redirects you need to make, but it'll also, if you check the setting, will keep track of every time you change a URL and it'll automatically make that redirect for you, which is extremely easy. So I'll show you how to get that URL now. So if we go back to plugins in WordPress, you want to go to add new and then type in redirection. And it's this one here with the flowers. It makes it easy to remember. You just hit install and then you hit activate. And then what you would do is you go to settings, you go to tools and then you go redirection. And in here, you can set the settings. It's going to set itself up like this. Just hit start setup. Here's where you can click monitor permalink changes. So I'm just going to tick that because that makes it really easy. It makes all the redirects for you. And then you just hit continue. I'm going to do that, default. I'm just going to hit continue. It's going to import any redirects that are already set up. It's going to go through this process, finish setup. It's going to do its thing, and then you can get in there and make your edits. So now here's the one. You can see the URL I just changed before. It's applied it here. So the dominate Google ads with SEO. What I'm going to do is put /SEO. And I'm going to make that redirect to that new page /search engine optimization. So now if somebody types in, or let's say they go to the old page /SEO, which is, let's say it's opening here, it's now going to redirect it to the new page I just made. There we go. So that's how that works. Right, so the next thing you need to consider is page hierarchy. So page hierarchy is the hierarchy of the pages on your website, and this is going to impact the SEO of your site, especially if you're using a silo website structure, which I talked about in one of my previous videos. So if you don't know what that is, I highly recommend you go watch that video. You're going to need that if you want to stand a good chance of ranking. Now, what you want to do is set sub pages to have the main parent page, which is the main topic that they are under, so that the URL displays as /main topic /sub page. And this is going to help to correctly categorize your pages and tell Google which topic they're actually relevant to. So you can do this in WordPress in the page attributes box. So I'm going to go and show you how to do that now. So once you go into pages, let's say you're editing a page. Now I'm going to make another page just for the example of this video, and I'm going to call it local SEO. And I'm just going to publish this page quickly. And now I can set this page. So if I open this page, first of all, you can see that it's just /local SEO. However, if I go here under page attributes, I can select the SEO page to be the parent page and then hit update. And so now what's going to happen is in the hierarchy of the website, in the sitemap, which I'm going to cover shortly, and things like that, in the URL, you're going to see now that this page is now a subpage of the main SEO page. So if we open it now, instead of being /local SEO, it's /search engine optimization, which is the main category, and then /local SEO. So this is telling Google that this page is a subpage of the main SEO category, and this actually helps to structure your website correctly and then helps them get it to rank in Google. Now, similarly to the page hierarchy is post categories. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's kind of similar, where you want to make sure that all your posts are in a collection, which is what's known as a category, which allows you to group all your blog posts that are in relevant topics together. So it helps to tell Google what topic they're relevant to, and it also makes it easier for users to find posts that are relevant to each other. So you can do that very similar to how I showed you in page hierarchies in WordPress. I'm going to show you how to do that now. If we go into posts, let's say we just made a post. Let's call it local SEO for electricians, let's just say, and we will hit, well, we won't hit anything. Let's say we're writing this post. You can see here categories. We've got a category SEO. So you would tick this if you wanted to go into SEO, and then you would hit publish. You can also do it after it's published. It doesn't really matter. You can see here, you can change it. Now, what you can also do if one doesn't exist, this is totally up to you how you want to structure categories. You can make another one. Let's say I want to make another one called local SEO, and this could actually be a subcategory of SEO as well. You can hit add category, and now you can see I've got local SEO, and now I can hit update. And so now what happens is on this page is going to be grouped under local SEO. So you can see here it's in local SEO. So now if I clicked this category here, this would list out all the different blog posts that are under this particular category. And that's how that works. It helps to just structure the blog posts in a logical manner so that people and Google can find what's related to what. So the next thing is the XML sitemap. So the XML sitemap lays out the structure of your website in a plain text format so that Google can easily read all the pages on your website. It finds the list of all the pages so that it knows that they're there, and this allows it to easier read the site, find all the pages, and then index them a lot quicker. So most plugins will actually have a built-in sitemap creator, which will automatically make a sitemap for you, and it should update every single time you add a new page automatically if you're using one of these. So most of these plugins will have it, and usually you can find it at a URL like /sitemap.xml. It typically looks something like this. So I'm going to show you what that looks like live. So the sitemap of the website I'm using for this example, if we go here, you can see it. All-in-one SEO has made this sitemap automatically. I didn't do anything manual here, it just did it automatically. And see, if we click on page sitemap, it's going to display all these pages I've been making for this video. You can see local SEO is here, search engine optimization here, and so on. And you can see how the URLs are structured in the same way that they are on the website. And so this is telling Google, like, this is the main category, this is the subcategory to this category. Sorry, this is the subpage to this category, and so on. So this allows Google to just see what's going on a lot easier. Now, the next thing you actually want to do is to submit this sitemap in Google Search Console so that Google Search Console can knows that the sitemap actually exists and is going to index it. And this just makes indexing your website and showing it on Google a lot faster. So what you want to do is in Google Search Console, you can see down here in the menu on the left under indexing, you have sitemaps. You would just click that and it's going to open this page. And what you would do is you would copy this URL and you would paste that there and you would hit submit. Now, this is not the same URL as the Search Console I'm in, so it's not going to work, but you would hit submit, and you see here it says enter valid path. So in your one, you wouldn't see this. It would hit submit, and then it would say either success here or failed, whatever, and it would let you know if it's actually done it. And then if you click into this, you can see how many pages have been discovered in the sitemap so that Google actually knows about, which allows it to go and index them a lot faster. Now, the next thing is image alt tags. So whenever you upload an image to your site, you need to make sure that you actually fill out the alt tag, which is also known as the alternative text. You can see it here. And this is just the words that display if the image cannot load for whatever reason. It tells people what it was supposed to show there. So their purpose is to describe what the image is. So don't just stuff a bunch of keywords in there because that's not actually going to help you at all in terms of SEO. All it does is it lets Google's crawlers know what this image is about so that they can index the images properly. And by giving them this text and telling them what the image is about, kind of rewards you and is more likely to actually show up your image in Google search in the images. So it's possible to get some traffic through Google image search as well by ranking there. So what you want to do is just write a brief explanation of what the car is, such as red car driving on a road, if that's what the image is, or like beach ball by the ocean at sunset. So in order to do this, I'm going to show you how to do it now in WordPress. What you would do is you would go into media, and then here you have all the images you uploaded. So you could go add new and you could upload an image. So just dropped an image in, it's going to upload it. And in there, you can then edit the alt tags. So what you do is click the image and then you see you got the alt tags here. So now I'm just going to go red car parked in front of a building. And then you would just, that's it, saves itself. You can see here how it's doing that and it says saved. And now that's it. That's all you need to do, just to make sure you do that for all of your images. Now, what you can also do is, obviously if you're editing a page, I'm just going to close all this. Let's say you're editing a page and you just want to insert the image straight into a page. You can do that. You don't have to go into media. What you can do is, let's say I'm editing this. I want to add an image here. You would hit add media. And now you can either select one or you can just go upload files, upload one. And now it's uploading the image directly from the page editor. And now once that's uploaded, you would now just go alt text. You just put gold Nissan Z parked in front of trees. Something like that, right? And just make sure it saves it, and then you could go insert into page. You could insert that picture, you can update, and then that's it. So this is a quicker way of actually adding the images straight into your posts. You don't have to go into media every single time, but that's how you do that. Make sure you remember the alt text on every image. Now, website speed. This is actually the final point that you need to do. You need to make sure that the website is actually loading quickly, because this is playing a bigger and bigger role when it comes to SEO, especially on mobile, which is now the majority of internet traffic. So you need to make sure that your website loads as fast as possible, ideally under 3 seconds. Now, the biggest culprit for slow loading websites in most cases is actually images that are too large. So the easiest way to resolve this problem is by installing a plugin called Converter for Media, which will convert all the images onto your site into a different format, and it'll make them smaller in storage size while retaining the quality. So that usually means that your image will be either a PNG or a JPEG file, and it'll just convert it into like a WebP file, and that's going to cut down the storage space of these images. So what you would do is go and install that plugin. So we want to go to plugins, and we want to go add new, type in Converter for Media. Just hit install, let it do its thing, hit activate, and then now once that's installed, you need to go in and just let it do its thing. So you want to go to settings, and then here you just need to set it to actually do its thing. You would select what you want to do. It would be WebP file, where they are, so on, hit save changes. If you hit this, it will automatically convert new images that you upload to the new format. You hit save changes, and then you can do start bulk optimization. So this is what will convert all the website images. So you just hit that, and it will just go through and convert all of your website images to the new format. You see as it's done here already, and now it's already telling me it's saved 3 megabytes. So that's obviously saved quite a significant chunk, 93% of the website size. So that makes a huge difference in terms of website load speed. That's usually the biggest problem. Now, you can also test your website at different speed testers. For instance, this one called Pingdom, which will tell you how long different parts of your website take to load and what you can do to improve it. So I'm actually going to show you an example of that as well quickly. So let's just copy that link. Let's go to Pingdom, and we can throw in my website and just test this. So you would go, let's say, marketing.io. This would be my live website, and then you can select where you want it to test from, whatever's the most, most relevant to your location, where you want the website to display usually. It'll run a test, and when it's done, it's going to display your result here. So you can see here that it's telling me the page size is 1.5 megabytes in total. Total load time was 3 seconds, which is not bad. It tends to give them, the grading is very strict on these, so it tends to grade you very badly no matter what, but 3 seconds is pretty decent for a load time. But if you scroll down here as well, you can see content size by content type, and it tells you what's taking the longest to load. We've got scripts, and then we've got images, and images are only 0.5 MB in total, and then the other stuff. So this is not bad, but if you were having something like 7 seconds or 10 seconds plus, you would have a big problem. And what you would usually find if you scroll down here is images would be by far the biggest one. So by installing that plugin, that will cut everything down. So that's practically it. This is what you need for like 99% of websites to optimize in terms of WordPress. If you go through this list and optimize all of these things properly, you're going to find that your website is very, very likely to rank on Google, especially if you've done them all correctly. So if you're optimizing a WordPress website, just go through this checklist, make sure you check all these things off. And for 99% of cases, this is what you need to do. So I hope that was helpful. Like I said, I'm going to put a link to this document below this video. So if you click that link, you'll be able to get this document. So you'll have this checklist for yourself. You'll be able to go through every time you optimize a website and make sure you check all of these items off. So like I said earlier as well, I'm going to make a video on exactly how to do the meta titles, H1 headlines, and URLs, and all the important points you need to know in order to do those correctly. So stay tuned for those videos. I'll catch you on the next one.